Have you ever been victimized by New Age spirituality?
We've been waiting for you. We've been waiting.
You're gonna want to listen up.
I'm Megan, an intuitive life coach and Reiki master.
I'm Ryan, a professional astrologer, and we want to show you what spirituality is by talking about what it is not.
Con artist.
Yes.
Snake oil salesman.
There are so many susceptible people out there.
And then they're tainted. They're ruined. They don't want to come back to spirituality.
We still have a lot to learn, and we will humble ourselves and learn, I think, every freaking day. This is Clairanoyance,
a podcast of spiritual interference. Whew. Do you hear that? It's just us trying to survive.
We will survive. We had a really beautiful catch up just now. I don't know if beautiful is the right fucking adjective for what that was actually. I have no idea. Megan and I have not talked in a minute, and so we were just catching each other up.
You know, it's beautiful in the fact that it's raw and authentic. You know, and that's beautiful. That's beauty.
Yeah, and it's beautiful in the fact of just like the sheer magnitude of how life can be, I guess, even in like an uncomfy situation, just to be like, whoa, like things can feel so fucking big sometimes. It's nuts that like.
That's a great way to put it, especially since I've been, I oscillate between like complete numbness and then bone, soul crushing, dense, so that's a great way to say that. Yeah. So anyway, did you guys make it through April?
God, well, so much. We're recording this as literally the day Mercury leaves retrograde. So hopefully we don't have any tech issues. I had some nutty Mercury retrograde things though this month. I kind of did not expect it, but I should have. I don't look at my own chart enough because I'm always looking at everybody else's charts, but like Mercury was retrograde in my third house of literally like communication and technology and like I had That's
so funny. It's like the dentist who doesn't floss, like
yes,
the personal trainer who doesn't work out, the astrologer who doesn't look at his chart.
Yeah, like it's actually been like a problem. I've been like trying actually this month, but it's been harder.
Yeah.
But it's a funky vibe. Yeah, April, we're still recording this in April. So it's funny because we're still very much in the thick of the April.
The end of April too is like a doozaroo. So yeah, we're still in the gunk of it.
Yeah, which is a funny thing because we're gonna sit here and talk about May's astrology, and it's a beautiful month. It's a great month. It really is.
Oh, hallelujah! Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot of good happening this month. It's not like it's kind of like a reprieve. Seriously, this is the epitome of. You know how people get so frustrated with astrology because they're like, oh, when's it going to be a good month? Like, oh, when's it going to be like better? Astrology is always doomsday or whatever.
You make it a good month, people. You make it a good month. Even if the astrology's gnarly, you could still have a nice time. I'm so sick of that. Stop blaming.
Yeah, but I will say, astrology has been really gnarly like for a long time here. But if you heard the April forecast, you'd know that was the threshold moment. This May is a whole different vibe. It really is. So like we're going to go through this quick, honestly, because that's just going to be the vibe. And because I also don't want to get overly serious on it. Like I thought about it and wanted to tie it to a bunch of deep and meaningful shit. And I'm like, fuck that. Like, let's just like breeze through May's astrology because I want everybody to do what you can to stay as light as possible this month and fucking enjoy it. There's so much Gemini energy coming into the picture. Gemini is a light, airy sign. It's like bubbles. Like be a
like
bubble.
Inspiring conversation. Let's connect on a mental level. Like let your brain stimulate my genitals. Not
the sapiosexual energy, you mean?
Yeah, like let's emotionally connect. Let's have fun. Let's play Jenga.
Yeah.
When's the last time you played Jenga? Jenga's so fun.
I don't know. Long time.
There she goes.
I do have like a overarching theme for the month of May, I guess. And so this is like the deepest, but honestly, okay, so the theme for May, as you can tell by the title, is the Swiss Army knife. So many
Love a
tools. There,
love a good Swiss Army knife. You're on an island, that's your bud. Okay, you're stuck, you're stranded, that's your bud. You need to make a PBJ, that's your bud.
yeah, you need to do most anything. That's your fucking body.
Yeah.
Um, and this is very like, uh, there's a lot of reasons for this. A lot of it was the mass amount of Gemini energy coming into the picture this month. But Gemini rules that versatility. Like it's the multitasker. It can handle a lot of different things. But just even beyond the Gemini stuff, there's a lot of other stuff going on too. Largely, it's
Hmm.
really all good. There's kind of like three things that are somewhat worrisome this month, and I'll point them out. But otherwise, it's a lot of beautiful flowing energy this month. But it is diverse. There is a lot of diversity in this good energy. So that's why I wanted to go with the Swiss Army knife. There's the
Hmm.
adaptability and versatility of a Swiss Army knife, the
Hmm.
resourcefulness and the problem solving capabilities, the
Hmm.
preparedness and the readiness, the efficiency and the effectiveness, you know?
We got it all here. We got it
We
all.
do.
Yeah.
We do. You especially, coming out of April, if you're entering some new territory right now, I think plenty of people are. We sure as fuck are.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, the kind of idea that I had with this, let me just say up front, the biggest transit of the month for sure is that Jupiter's entering Gemini, where it will be for a whole year. This is one of the biggest transits of the year. It's a beautiful
Oh,
transit.
cool.
Yeah, technically in ancient astrology, Jupiter is like in its detriment in Gemini because it rules the opposite sign, Sagittarius. But Jupiter is such a good, supportive, fun
I was
planet
about
that
to
it's
say
just like going to
Jupiter's Santa
enhance.
Claus, so it's going to be like, let's, like it's that planet of expansion and good luck
Yeah,
and magic. So I don't,
exactly.
it's good luck everywhere it goes.
Yeah, it's like I think at its worst in Gemini. I mean, there's a few ways it could manifest like quote unquote negatively, I guess. But it's like, in Sagittarius, it definitely goes all out, right? It's so big. But in Gemini's more concerned with like the little bits and the things right in front of you. So Jupiter's going to expand a lot of little things. It's like getting a ton of little gifts at Christmas rather than like the big
Oh.
like ticket item, you
It,
know?
yeah, so it's like appreciating those socks that you got at
Totally.
Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
used to
because you
hate.
appreciate them, like Santa then brings you like 40 more in different colors. Like that's just like kind of the vibe here.
It's funny. Anytime I've gotten a gift lately or anything, like even like money clients, I'm like, thank you and more, please.
Yeah, I love it. Yes,
Yes.
yes. That's so funny. I had a client just telling me something very similar to that yesterday. Um, if anybody's looking for like something to read or watch, I haven't seen the movie. I think it was a movie, but the book, Swiss Family Robinson, literally has such a Swiss Army knife vibe. It's a family that gets shipwrecked.
Mm-hmm.
They literally figure out how we're gonna make this work. They make shelter, they hunt for food, they navigate
Mm-hmm.
unfamiliar territory, and it can like you're on the other side of this threshold of that was April now. So if you're in this unfamiliar territory, it really is about the like use the resources in your
How are
immediate
you?
environment.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
at your
Yeah.
disposal. Like you adapt to this new environment that you're going to be in right now. It really makes me think too, like why I love this. It's kind of me being a little self-centered here, I guess. But like, yeah, I'm a Gemini. And did the Santa's entering my sign. But when I first moved to LA, I moved for a job that wasn't astrology, and I had a specific role in that job, but it was a startup. And oh my God, the ways that I started taking on all these other hats, and I was good at it. Like it's the multidisciplinary kind of approach here. And
Mm-hmm.
my boss at the time, um, who Hillary Duff's sister. It was Haley Duff's husband. I'm just kidding. I don't know if I should like out that, but there's no NDA against that. But Haley Duff's husband was my boss. And
Cool.
he called me his Swiss Army knife. And it was like literally like probably the best
Oh,
compliment I had in that old profession of mine because I was just so good at fitting into all these weird random little roles and I like owned them all. Like it was so fun.
I
So
can
I
see
loved
that.
that. It was such a compliment. So yeah, be resourceful, flexible, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so Swiss Army knife, blah. Um,
Let's get into the lunations first. We got a full moon. No, new moon at 18
mhm.
degrees Taurus.
Yeah, this is on May 7th. This is a nice one. This is one of the better new moons of the year. I think it's pretty smooth.
So
Um,
you can get back on your manifestation game. We talked about kind of taking a break from new moon rituals last because you don't want to do any sort of ritualistic activity during eclipse season. By the way, let us know if you've been eclipsed. Send us a
Yeah.
message. We've gotten a lot of messages, by the way. Have you checked the email? We've gotten
Um,
emails and we have entries. So y'all
I
have
need to look
listened
that
to the
up.
anniversary. Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't listened
So
to the
thank
anniversary
you.
episode, go check it out and enter for the giveaways, please. And like the time
Yeah.
capsule project, like, oh my God, please. Like more the merrier.
Hmm.
Um, love it. So now I'm off track.
New moon.
Oh
New
yeah,
moon.
no, I know. But I'm like, how do we get into that? Anyway, yeah, oh yeah, don't manifest, whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, so this is a great one to manifest, especially because it's in Taurus, which rules earthly abundance. It's
Yeah.
resources, it's currency, it's your relationship to the material world. So physically, what do you want? And the moon is exalted in Taurus. So it's like its favorite sign to be in. It rules Cancer. Rulership is different
Hmm.
than exaltation, just so everybody knows. Like the
Yes.
signs,
That's a
planet
good
rules.
that yeah. So like that's your so that's it's like it's its favorite place to be.
Yeah, it's like
Instead of
your
like this
best
is
friend's
it's like
house.
rulership. Okay, exactly. That's what I think. Like rulership is like mom and dad. This is
Yes.
where this is where you got to
So
go
got
home.
rules. Yeah.
Yeah, but being exalted, it's like this is like this is my best friend's house. Like
Yeah, you get the
you
best
know,
of it, you know?
yeah.
Whereas in its rulership, like the moon in Cancer, you get the best and the worst.
Yes. Good
Um,
distinction.
yeah. So anyway, I really like this. Venus and Jupiter are really close by as well. So we got the two benefic planets, like bringing in some additional abundance here for what you want. So honestly, just enjoy May 7th. Like do things
Yeah.
consciously. Don't rush into anything because it is conjunct Uranus. I'll say that. And so there can be this impulsivity or like feeling like gotta pull the trigger now. Don't do that.
Let me tell you, if anyone's like me right now, if you force me to do anything, if I mean, you could tell me the sky's blue and I'm so damn defiant right now, I'd be like, it's orange. Goodbye. Like I can't. So don't force anything right now. Just go with the flow, people.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't honestly, it's just a good new moon. Peaceful, like whatever you want. Like and
Love it.
Taurus rules the five senses. I'll just say that. So like try and do something May 7th. It's at 8:22 p.m. Pacific. So you can wait like over the next couple days after May 7th too. But like try and do something that actually does really light up your senses, whether that's cooking a really good meal, having a great bath, indulging with like really great candles around you, blah 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 blah,
You're
wearing
creating a
clothing that feels
scene.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hugs. Good.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
Yeah.
okay, and then the full moon
May
is
23rd.
yes, and that's in Sagittarius. Okay,
Ooh.
so that means the moon is opposite the sun, so the sun will be in Gemini. So the Gemini Sagittarius axis is lit up. This is an axis of communication, of learning, of travel. A lot of movement to this. This is an interesting full moon, I would say basically like you're going to want to watch out for like an exaggeratory effect here. Full
Oh,
moon
yeah.
is already at capacity, it's blown up, but it's opposing Jupiter, which exaggerates even more. And Venus is there. So there's this like,
And I don't know any Sagittarius that is not a character. These are, I mean, that's wildfire, buddy. You told
yeah,
me that. You told me that
yeah,
Sagittarius is wildfire. So
it's
you
big
got the
fire.
full, yeah, you got the full moon wildfire. But I mean, so we got that, but then it looks like, I mean, it looks like we got some good things happening with it too, though. I mean,
Yeah.
sextile Pluto, trine Neptune and Pisces. What is that? Delusion Central? That's what that sounds like. Delusional
It,
Central.
yeah, it can be like a little like you could get swept off your feet or whatever, little
Somebody
rose-colored
sweep me off
glasses,
my
but
dang feet. Yeah.
more than anything, honestly, because it's like Neptune's the planet of spirituality. It's in Pisces, very spiritual energy there. But then Sagittarius also is big with faith. Like it's a bit more of a grounded version of like spirituality and mysticism. It's like faith and religion is more Sagittarius.
Hello.
And both signs, Pisces and Sagittarius, are ruled by Jupiter. So there is that connection
Gotcha.
going on here of Jupiterian goodness. Like this can really be a beautiful culmination. I'd say, especially, look back 6 months ago in Sagittarius season. What were you up to? When was the Sagittarius new moon? Go back and see like look at your text messages, your emails, whatever, what was going on, what'd you get going, and it's likely coming to fruition right now.
Love it.
So weird. Actually, so weird now that I think about that for myself. Anyway, more on that later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Truly, actually weird. Um, Yeah,
They,
so those are it. Good little light lunations. Okay, and then
yeah.
planets are changing signs. I don't even want to go into this very much, to be honest. Like, especially because three of them are just going into Gemini, and we're going to spend some time on Jupiter and Gemini. So the first one, May 15th, Mercury is moving into Taurus. This is the only one that I kind of really want to say something about because, well, I guess let me just say the other three really quick. May 15th, Mercury enters Taurus. May
Hmm.
20th, Sun enters Gemini. May
Woo.
23rd, Venus enters Gemini. May
Ooh.
25th, Jupiter enters Gemini. That's the biggie.
Ooh.
That's what
Yeah.
we're like kind of working toward this month. But what's important is so three of the planets moving into Gemini, except for Mercury. Mercury is in Taurus this whole month. Mercury rules Gemini. So all these
Hmm.
Gemini planets, and Gemini is scattered, right? It is chatty, 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 and quick, quick, quick. And Mercury's like, let's slow it down. Like, let's be measured about this. So all of these Gemini
Mm.
planets are excitable, but they're really like answering to a Mercury that's like, okay, but is this stable? Do I have like measured thought, measured
It's so funny
speech?
you say measured because, like, my dad always has this quote, what gets measured gets done. And so that's what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, so it's like all this Gemini energy, all this twin energy. And then Taurus is like, that's great, but let's make sure,
Yeah.
let's double check before you leave the house. Did you lock the door? You got your shoes on? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, something goes wrong in life and you whip out your Swiss Army knife, right? And but you keep using the wrong tools. It's like if the Mercury is going to ensure that you actually like pull out the Swiss Army knife, assess the tools at your disposal and use the right one. It's going to take you like a little bit longer, but like you're not fumbling around and
So
like
that frenetic energy, because when when you get around like that sort of energy, you're like, I'm out of time, or I need to go now, or I got to do it. And so this is also like, so y'all are, it's springtime, everyone's feeling amorous. Do
yeah.
your due diligence, make sure like who are you going out on that date with that you met that stranger on the internet? Do they have a rap sheet? Like just do a little double check. Don't get love bombed, okay? Love bombing is a no-no.
Mm,
What do they love about you? They don't know you.
mm.
So I'm taking a slow approach. I think with this
Yeah,
wild
it's
Gemini energy will be good.
yeah, with so much, just at least to as we get into it, I think that's a great way to like, yeah, like it feels like we're
Be
easing into the Gemini
excited,
energy.
but
Yeah.
be safe. Excitable but safe.
Excitable but safe. Yeah, stable. Yes, 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 yes.
Yes. Yes.
So we'll talk more about this Gemini energy, particularly Jupiter, in just a tad here.
Hmm.
But the next thing I want to say real quick is we got one planet going retrograde this month, and that
Hmm.
is Pluto, which I normally don't care about. If you know
Yeah.
me, you know I don't care about the outer planets going retrograde. The only reason I
Yeah.
want to mention this is because it is symbolic. Like on a personal level, most of us are probably not going to notice this unless it's
Hmm.
hitting something major in your chart. But most of us probably won't feel it. Collectively, Pluto is that type of planet, and it's straddling Capricorn and Aquarius, two completely different signs. Capricorn tradition, Aquarius progress, and it's
Hmm.
it's it's been hanging and ushering in new themes in Aquarius, but now it's literally going to go retrograde on May 2nd, and it will retrograde all the way back into Capricorn. And it'll be in Capricorn September to November. We'll deal with that a little later. But that's why I wanted to even just mention this is that like this
This
is
is the
the
last time though,
last.
right? Like this is
Yeah,
the
this
last
is it.
time. We're never gonna see this. No one,
Yeah.
we will never see this again in our lifetimes. It's like it's doing a little kiss to Capricorn. Love you, boo. We had a nice time together. Now we must part ways.
I'd even just say, like, on a personal end, it's sort of like just where do you fall within the collective things that are taking place? What do you, what are you viewing as progress? What are you viewing as like stagnant, stale energy? And like, how are you responding to any of that? It's your personal choice to respond to these
Hmm.
collective events that are taking place. Like part of me literally thinks of it like the TikTok ban. I literally talked about that the first time Pluto entered Aquarius last year in March, and it's back, they just like signed that right before Pluto's about to go
Yeah.
retrograde. So I'm like, well, what's going to happen? Where do you fall on that? Are you one of the people that thinks China's like screwing us up and like I'd never get on TikTok, or do you think like this is a dumb thing and we need to rebel against the government for doing this? Like what, and no right or wrong. I mean, like I got my personal opinion, but like you figure it out. Where do you fall within these collective issues that
I think
are
Facebook and
impacting everybody?
Instagram are protecting your data, folks. You're
Yeah.
tripping. I
Um,
just shared this meme. It's like people who trust the government, I'm sure think strippers love them too. And that's what.
yeah, that's exactly it.
No.
Totally, totally. They think they got the chance. Yeah. And like they don't need to pay.
There's always a chance. No, there's not.
So true. The other reason I'm bringing up Pluto is because Pluto is a planet that's getting hit a few times by personal planets, and two of the four are negative. Like these are two of the days to just be cautious of. Okay. So
Uh-huh.
the first one, technically, we enter the month with it. It's
Ooh.
Venus square Pluto. This is exact April 30th at 9:29 p.m. Pacific. So
Hmm.
12:30 a.m. Eastern, just for your time zone. But we will feel it the couple days after. So we enter May with this square of Venus and Pluto, shitty relationship stuff, to be honest. That's what that is.
Yay.
Yeah. Or, like a kind of crossroads moment financially, maybe, or something, or self-worth,
Hmm.
like self-care. You realize I'm like, I'm not taking care of myself. I gotta make a change here. Um, and then the other one that's I don't love is Mercury is also going to square Pluto. That will be on May 17th. So
Mm.
just those 2 days, be a little careful.
I have a
And do
retreat.
not, yeah,
Yeah.
power struggles, you
Oh,
know, abuse, like control dynamics, control issues, like try and release control at this point. Like the control is not in your favor. Like I guess control what you can, which is just you, but anything
yeah.
outside of you, like,
Yeah.
hard. But then, we got two really beautiful things coming in after those two negative things. So the sun will trine Pluto on May 22nd. Venus will trine Pluto on May 25th. So especially because Venus is going to do the square and then the trine, it's like if you're entering May, kind of dealing with any of those issues, money problems, relationship problems, if any of that's popping up, like right around May 1st, you may deal with it for a little bit this month, but by the end of the month, May 25th, Venus comes into this very harmonious flow with Pluto, and it's sort of like the issue gets resolved. You're good.
Yeah.
So hang
Good.
in there. Hang in there. Literally, May 25th is the day that Jupiter enters freaking Gemini. And that's the day where it's like,
Yeah.
that is really the tide shift moment that I meant to talk. Like, when I said May is like where everything changes, it really is going to be once Jupiter hits Gemini. Okay, so that's Pluto. Pluto's going retrograde. Don't let any astrologers out there like freak you out, and they're going to be like,
No
"Here's what Pluto
fear
retrograde
mongering.
means for your sign." It
If
doesn't.
you're hearing this before May 25th, listen the fuck up. I'm like, can we get new
I
taglines?
know. I know. I'm so sick of it. So sick of it.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. The only other thing I want to say, the next theme, is just as the Swiss Army knife, the diversity of energy going on this month, all of this is good. All of this is good. But the outer planets, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, we already talked about Pluto, but the other ones are getting hit as well by these personal planets. So there's a lot of like me versus the collective feeling going on, but there's a lot of positive stuff. So I'm just going to quickly say like this is going to be very fast. Okay.
Mhm.
Saturn is getting hit 3 times. All right. All
Ooh.
I'm going to say is the dates: May 5th, May 13th, May 27th. I'm not going to say what's hitting Saturn. Just know on those dates that Saturn brings materialization of things. It literally cements things into physical reality. So there can be
Mhm.
manifestation of goals at this point. There can be a serious, like, sobering up of a delusional thought process that you've been having, or just
Mhm.
sobering up quite literally. This is coming
Mhm.
from Pisces, and like planets in Taurus are sextiling Saturn.
Yeah.
And so there's like a growth oriented energy here. It's like earth and water, right? There's like fertilization and stuff that can happen here. So it's nice. They're feminine signs. Um, Very practical. Yeah, in a time of like being taking more responsibility, taking more and being proud of yourself for it. Like you're more willing to be responsible, to make commitments, to make promises with people, that sort of stuff.
Gotcha.
Then Uranus will get hit also on 3 dates. That's going to be May 13th, May 18th, and May 30th. These are conjunctions, meaning it's not a flow of energy. Planets are coming to harmonize with Uranus. Their energies will be intertwined. So it'll be the sun, then
Oh.
Venus, then Mercury on those dates. And that it's a lot. I mean, like in a cool way. It tends to be very like epiphany oriented with when something conjuncts Uranus, very quick, sudden insights. So there may be this realization of the need to change, but you're pretty much embodying that change. Like it's not like thinking about it too much. You're like
Mm-hmm.
accepting
You,
it.
yeah,
This
it's just flowing.
integration. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're integrating these sudden changes. There can be like crazy tech innovations that are popping out around these days too. We might see some of that stuff. Just expect the unexpected, expect events and surprises, but also know that all of these are kind of like going to initiate year-long cycles on those
Yeah.
dates. So it's like the seeding of this unexpected thing. So more likely than anything, May will be a time that you look back on and you're like, oh my God, these weird, unexpected things like popped up at that time. And, in a
They
few
were the
months.
seedlings. Yeah, they were the seedlings that
Yeah,
started the
exactly.
process. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, I
Neptune.
Yeah, Neptune is, planet of spirituality, but also delusion, like a lot of stuff. Neptune's going to get hit 3 times as well, but in a sextile, another positive flow of energy. So this is May 19th, and then two of them are happening on May 23rd.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, very like spiritual intuition feeling online. Again, it's Taurus and Neptune or Taurus and Pisces energy here. They flow together so nicely. Very romantic, super imaginative. The big one that I would say, like honestly, like I know we're going to talk about it next, but Jupiter moves into Gemini on May 25th.
Hmm.
However, there's such a lead up to that May 25th moment. And
Oh.
arguably, if I had to pick a day
Uh-huh.
of the month that is like the day of like,
Uh-huh.
holy crap, it's going to be May 23rd. Like
May
it just,
23rd.
dang, huge.
Writing it down.
Yeah, but really, I'd say like this starts like May 18th. You could argue even a little bit before that, but
I
I'd say,
love anticipation.
yeah,
Okay. Because it's so even, yeah, like it's just fun during the process. Now, if you're let down after you build something up, what a boner killer. But
yeah,
anticipation, like when you're like excited about something, it's like, oh, is there anything better as long as you have an active imagination? If you don't, then sorry for you.
love it. Yeah, and yeah, active imagination, green light. If you're anticipating something super specific, red light, because that is this delusional quality of the fact that they're touching Neptune and Pisces. Like Neptune and Pisces as a way of building, like creating the idealized picture in its head of how something should be. And
Hmm.
then, you know, it's beautiful to imagine, but if you identify too much with what you imagine and expect it, life never works out that way.
Yeah.
And many people's imaginations are more colorful than the reality of things. And so
Oh,
you can be let down very
100%.
easily. But these are positive. So ideally, more than anything, it's like I'm finding faith, I'm finding inspiration, I'm feeling incredibly creative with this. Like this is definitely some time of abundance. And on May 23rd, I mean, there's a lot happening literally on May 23rd, so many things. But the other big transit that's a rare transit is that Jupiter is going to be in a sextile with Neptune. Both it's the ancient ruler Jupiter and the modern ruler Neptune of Pisces. So they get
Pisces has really
along.
been acting up lately.
Pisces
Yeah.
is like, I know it's like
Pisces
lingering
has been in
here.
every, it's been a
I
main
know, I know.
character
Well,
in
Saturn's there.
so many months. And it's just like, what?
Yeah, and it's getting crazier because also like, and I'll kind of say this later, but these, all of these impacting Neptune. Neptune's at 29 degrees during these. That's the final degree of any sign, the 29th degree. It's called a critical degree or an anaretic degree. It's like this huge, like looking back on the sign's energy. Have you mastered it? Like, is there anything you need to like wrap up? Like, there can be a sense of urgency of like, I'm not going to get a chance here again or something, right? At the 29th
Better
degree.
shoot
But
my
then,
shot. You
yeah,
better shoot my shot. I better tell the people
yeah,
how I feel. I better apply for that job. I better,
yeah. But think it through first,
yeah, buy crypto.
right? We're thinking about it first. We're thinking it through first, and slowly we're going to be calculated and smart and measured. But there is like this leap of faith or shoot your shot energy here for damn sure.
I
And it is
love
even,
shot shooting.
I
I
love
love it
shot
when people,
shooting.
yeah, like shoot the shot. What's the best that could happen? Don't, Ryan and we had to have a pump up talk where I was like, no, what is the best that could happen here? You've been delivered a gift. Take it.
Take it. Oh shit.
Don't
Yeah.
kick a gift horse in the mouth, my people. Don't do
I
it.
know. Yeah. 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 No, no, true. True, true, true.
Yeah.
Um, what was I gonna say about this?
We got my buddy Chiron, Chai Kai.
Yeah. Hold on, I was trying to, I think there was something I was gonna say about this though.
Uh, my
Oh yeah,
groceries are
just
gonna
the
flip for
final
a
thing I'll say
second.
is like the 29th degree thing is even
Uh-huh.
more important in this scenario. Not only because Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces, but Pisces is the final sign of the whole zodiac. So it's not only just the last degree
Oh.
of every sign is the 29th degree. This is the last degree of the entire freaking zodiac. And Neptune is in the sign it rules. This is potent Pisces and potent Neptune energy. So if you want to like study anything about astrology, I mean, there's so many things I could say, but I'd say like toward the second half of the month, really like kind of try and tap into Pisces and Neptune and use them to their highest capacity because
Hmm.
they could really like fool you too. They can cause a lot of delusion, especially if you're
And
trying to be too impulsive.
I think the hardest big three I ever saw was a triple Pisces.
God, that's so
You want,
crazy.
yeah.
I think that's funny you say that because I think the hardest triple I saw was Virgo, which is the opposite sign. So it
Oh
kind of makes
no,
sense. It's the same axis
good. My
there.
God.
They both have like a
Gee.
thing with like perfection. It's really
Oh,
an
good to know.
idealization, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the Chiron planetoid, but I'm just going to say it for what it is because these are conjunctions, which is nice. And Chiron has been acting a little funky. Um, on
Wounds,
May,
wounds, wounds.
yeah,
Everybody's just feeling
but
sad.
healing.
Like,
When it's
yeah.
conjunction, it's an integration. So it's like an acceptance of the wound and or the acceptance of I need to heal something and I'm going to start that journey now. So May 5th, Mercury will conjunct Chiron. I like that. That would be more of that acceptance or the realization of something. Your mind is attuned
So
to.
people are getting kicked off. They can't live on the Isle of Denial anymore. They're having to deal with reality.
Yeah, you're definitely aware of it, even if you're not dealing with it, because the dealing with it would actually be then the second one, Mars conjunct Chiron on May 29th. And that one is important. This would be the 2 days I don't like are those two Pluto squares I've referenced before. This would be
Hmm.
like the third date that I would say it's not that I don't like it, actually. It's just that there's a potential for this to go awry. Conjunctions are good typically. Mars is in the sign it rules, Aries. But Mars and Chiron, Mars is weapons, Chiron is wounds. This is really like are you moving through
Great.
life in a way that hurts people or hurts yourself right now? This can be a really
Yes.
impulsive and accident prone energy. Like, I don't think people will mean the harm that they have a potential to cause on May
Yeah, so watch
29th.
your mouth. Words have power. That's where it's been like people have said stuff to me, and granted, I can take bullets, but I'm like, hey, shut up. Like, because if you're talking to me like that, then I know you're talking recklessly to other people because you like and
Mhm.
respect me. Shh, quiet. Be nice. My God,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. The good way to use this, I would say, around May 29th would be like Mars in Aries is a warrior, incredibly brave. Chiron is known as the wounded healer, tried to be a warrior. So for me, it feels almost like a redemption moment a little bit here,
Love
where it's like,
redemption.
yeah, like where was I down on myself? Where was I wounded before? Especially in Aries, identity, I am, an identity wound, and you're taking action to stand up to fight back against that. Like you are not wounded as a person. Um,
Good.
Alternative healing methods are great that day too. So next up is like the big gun, the like pièce de la résistance. Is that even how it's pronounced? I don't even know what that really means.
You know,
Pièce
it
de
sounds,
la résistance? Is that what it
I
is?
always add extra vowels to
Am I
things.
messing that up? Yeah, you do.
Like,
You
so
pronounce
don't.
words funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. It's exaggerating language anyway. That's going to be Jupiter and Gemini. Exaggerating Jupiter, Gemini rules language.
Fitting right in.
Communication.
Fresh
So,
energy. What?
yeah, Megan, how long we got it in Gemini? When's this happening?
Starts May 25th and it ends June 9th. So a whole year
June 9th of
almost.
next year. Yeah.
2025. Yeah, a whole
Yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah. So I'm Jesus Christ ready for this. This is very fresh energy. You maybe won't feel it like the day that it enters Gemini, but at the same time, you can create a birth chart for so many things. And when a planet moves into a new sign, it matters
Hmm.
what else is happening in the sky too, because it kind of, the second Jupiter enters Gemini, it's like, okay, snapshot of the sky. That's the
Hmm.
chart for the Jupiter and Gemini transit, then,
Hmm.
right? So, guess what? Jupiter is not just entering Gemini, but it's right behind Venus and the Sun. They're all so close together. So, we have this triple conjunction in Gemini to set off Jupiter's transit. Gemini,
So
I
they're
mean,
just having a threesome. They're just
it's
enjoying
lovely.
themselves. Yeah, they're having a nice
Yeah.
time. Good
The
for
two
them.
benefic planets and then the sun, like kind of increasing the visibility of the goodness of this transit.
Let me in on that. Yeah.
Yes, please. Yes, yes, yes. So lots
Sharing's
of
caring.
sharing is caring. There's so many themes that can pop up under this. Okay, so like Gemini is the curious sign, so a lot of people are going to be feeling extra curious, extra experimental. Um,
Ooh,
mhm. As Jupiter is a wise sage and Gemini is the student. So there is this idea of like I'm learning, but then I'm teaching. Like the student becomes the teacher.
I love
When
that.
does, yeah,
Yeah.
when does information become knowledge?
Yeah. If you have a teacher who doesn't allow them, like, if they don't allow information to be brought to them in any realm, whether it be actual school or you have a mentor, you need to kick that fucker to the road. That's a dangerous person.
No, yeah, for sure. And this could be like, I mean, just going along with that, like mentors, role models, teachers, whatever, this would signify them taking on that student hat now, even not just like
Hmm.
when does the student become the teacher, but when does the teacher realize like I need to like brush up on some stuff. Like,
Yes, never stop learning. That's why I love having, when I found out I had a Gemini moon a long time ago and I didn't understand Gemini, I was like, bummer. But I love it because now I am nothing but like, I'm like, what about this? What about this? I'm a
hmm
sponge. I'm always curious. So I love this energy because there's nothing more infuriating to me than meeting with someone who's not flexible. If you are not mentally flexible, also a research just came out or a study just came out, you are not mentally well. Okay.
yeah,
So be mentally, work on that mental flexibility, guys. Be flexible with your life. Have boundaries, but
yeah, this is definitely going to teach you how to be more nimble and agile. Gemini's, there are four mutable signs, is what it's called, which are the four signs that end a season. So Gemini's ending spring, right? Those four signs are, well, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. All of them
hmm
are flexible and adaptable and changeable. But Gemini's are introduction to what that even means,
hmm
introduction to the idea of change. So really like trying to master that and like enjoy it. Um Valuing diverse perspectives. Gemini literally just rules the mind and your ability to perceive. And it's raw perspective. Everybody thinks Gemini is like, yeah, it can be a gossip, but it's just because it communicates so well and it sees all sorts of perspectives. But honestly, it's like most
I could
fundamental.
see Gemini as a gossip though. I mean,
Any sign can gossip. Yeah,
yeah,
like it's such a lame pop culture way of looking at it. At its most fundamental, Gemini just rules raw perception. It doesn't. It's
yeah.
the it's before the first water sign, so Gemini doesn't have feeling. Like technically, like at its in just the raw state of just Gemini. It's so it will see something and not attribute feeling to it. It won't over-identify with it. It just is like, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. That would be an amazing thing to say when you learn anything, when someone tells you something about yourself, when you're telling something to yourself about yourself or whatever. Just be like, that's interesting rather than attribute too much
Instead of
to it.
identifying it and creating a whole narrative, and then you have to sit with me for an hour and a half as I unravel. This is what I've been doing
Yes.
all week. I'm like, where did you get this story from your sadness?
That's no, that's like exactly it. And this is like, I mean, I won't go on forever about why everybody hates on Gemini, but like people, say Gemini is a shallow sign. That's where it comes from, is that Gemini's not attributing these deep, unnecessary thoughts and
Hmm.
feelings to what it's perceiving. So that's the shallow nature of it, is this ability to graze the surface of everything it touches. Like, so it's not you're trying to it's not like it's shallow and it can't have a meaningful conversation. Like Gemini absolutely can. It's just like it's not
Which is
gonna
not going to identify.
latch
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
That's interesting. If you could like saying something, especially in a highly charged emotional moment, I think saying like, "Oh, that's interesting," instead of make, I think that's a brilliant piece of advice that you inadvertently gave the listeners, including me.
Thank you. And I mean, like, same with all four mutable signs, but again, with Gemini being the intro to it, dichotomy, right? It's the twins. I know Pisces
Hmm.
is like the fish, one swimming upstream, one swimming downstream, but like Gemini is duality. Like, it's our
Hmm.
intro to it. So, like, even when you're in an argument, verbal disagreement with someone else, when they present that combating perspective or opinion or whatever, can't you just say, "Oh, that's interesting"? You might be
Are you
totally.
okay?
No, I know.
That's what
No, for
I'm
sure.
saying.
For sure. But like if
Yeah.
somebody's like, even like a political discussion or whatever, it's just like somebody might be on the totally different side of the aisle than you and they're sharing their perspective about it rather than combat or feel the need to like
Yes.
be
Oh, that's interesting.
self-righteous. Just yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting. And
I never
take it
thought of
in.
it from that perspective. Yeah.
Absolutely. This is why like I mean like I don't like Trump, but I can have a personal opinion about things for sure. And like I've developed one enough to be like, yeah, I don't like Trump. But at the height of like Trumpism and all this shit, like I always was like, I understand where those people are coming from, though.
All
Like
day.
that's what it is. It's like I found it interesting. I was curious about their
Yeah.
perspective. I don't agree with it, no, when I really think about it, but like I get where they're coming from. That's Gemini. I can see from all angles.
Yeah.
It's like it's a really cool energy. It's about finding joy in diversity. Gemini is like the most diverse sign, technically. So people
Hmm.
will be expanding their social networks, their media consumption, please, as well, because media literacy will come into the fold. It's already happening. It's really funny. This was like one of my predictions for 2024 in general. When I was first talking about this pod or this transit, I was like, media literacy is going to be a fucking theme. And do you know what's nuts to me? And speaking of like double sides of things, um, Taylor Swift's new album came out, right? Like so much I actually want to say about that, saving for
I saw what you posted on our story about like just so every
oh my
Ryan,
God. I
Ryan
mean,
runs
like
our Instagram.
that's a whole
People will be like,
Joe.
"Oh, you
Oh,
posted?" I'm like, "No, but it's open." It was just like, what did you
are
say?
you a Swiftie?
No, no, no. Am I? No, I'm neutral. I don't care either way. But people are so there's either you either love her or like she's very polarizing. You
She is
know.
very polarizing, and I get more polarized. I'm really not gonna turn this into a Swiftie conversation right now, but I am saving some really cool shit. I have like interesting points for a serendipity session, but I think more than anything, it's the culture. It really is. Like I fully separate Taylor and the music. I have no opinion on Taylor as a person. The music, I can say, yeah, I don't like that. I do like some of the songs. I do think she's a good songwriter, but it is this culture surrounding her and the fans and what I have so much to say about that. Anyway, but like
Yeah.
there's so much polarization going on regarding that new album she put out, right? And it's been so funny. I'm literally screenshotting like every day right now comments on TikToks that I'm seeing because on either side, whether you love it or you hate it, both parties are saying what happened to media literacy. Nobody has because like people who love it are telling people like if you don't like it, you don't understand it. What happened to media literacy? And people who don't like it are like it's surface level shit and she sucks and like God, what happened to media literacy? Like you got like she's white and like they're going like the more political route with it. So they're both using the same verbiage, media literacy, that theme, but from
Interesting.
completely different angles. It's the weirdest thing. So I definitely think media literacy is going to be coming in huge. I'm like shocked I'm seeing so many people literally use that phrase because that was like my
Yeah.
prediction for this transit. Um, I think a really cool thing here because Jupiter, yeah, it can exaggerate and it can be boisterous or whatever, but like it at its best is gonna it's generous, and it's like and it's not
Yeah.
loud about it. It's like loud action, but like maybe not. I don't know. It doesn't have to overprove.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna do something nice for someone and it's not having to announce it
Yeah.
on social media that you did something nice.
Yeah. And so I think like in that, like what I was thinking about is like that this is where people are going to cultivate like intellectual humility is literally how I
Oh,
was thinking of this, where
I
it's
like
like
that.
I meaning like expansion, Jupiter, there's always more to know. Like you do not get fixated, right? Like Jupiter's in Gemini, I mean, like when Jupiter's in Sagittarius, that's the dogmatic, self-righteous, like this is the way, this is the truth, this is how it is.
Yeah.
Jupiter's used to that. It honestly is. It can really shove an opinion or a belief down someone's throat. But in Gemini, it's going to be more open-minded and definitely be like, ah, maybe I don't know it all. Let me look into that, you know?
Well, wouldn't that be fucking lovely?
I know. I really, I think that this capacity is here.
And let's normalize that, everybody. Ah, I've changed my mind. I have now been presented with more facts. I don't have to be so regimented in whatever.
Hmm.
Oh, it's been a theme. It's been a theme. I've been
Yeah,
seeing.
we will see the opposite though, like it's duality, right? So we
Oh
will see
yeah.
that, and you're going to see more people being more open-minded in various ways. But on the other end of it, you're also going to see people talking more nonsense if they are being dogmatic still. Like if they're not letting go of the dogmatic perspective, they're going to now take on the Gemini way of being dogmatic, meaning just dumb. Like what? Where did that come from? Like, and they're not. They've got the blinders on, but they're like it's like every time you like say something sensible to them, they're like they just like breeze right past it.
And I use this, but like conspiracy theorists who like I had a friend send me something. She was like, I really wanted to be wrong about this. And it was talking about the ink on newspapers and how it was poisonous. And I was like, first, who the fuck is reading a newspaper? Like you get the news, you get a, like, do you get magazines sent to your place? I mean, cool, but like, I know that you ain't reading a newspaper. And so it was like, I really hated to be right about this. Acting like we had a conversation about poisonous ink in the paper. I was like, I can't with this.
That's so funny. And that's literally so funny because you're talking about news and newspaper media. This is Gemini. Like, watch. Honestly, this makes it seem like media in and of itself, yeah, literacy and like our ability to understand it, digest it, and spot fake news and all of that, like, will be a thing, but also just the media industry in general, like, will become a bigger freaking deal. There's going to be mergers, there's going to be like expansion of certain media
Uh-uh.
conglomerates or whatever, but also just like this idea of like freedom of the press, freedom of speech, right? Jupiter is boundless, it likes to expand. Gemini is just speech. It's going to like
Good.
this idea of like the freedom of the press, will
Yeah.
probably be really big over this next year. And I think like the word that I hadn't even thought about this until literally right now when we were just kind of talking about some of this. I would say like the in speech and thought, well, I guess in speech, when you're talking to someone, if you're feeling like I'm constantly trying to come up with like scraping the bottom of the barrel for new angles that support my opinion or my cognitive bias or whatever.
Then
Don't do that
stop.
shit. Keep it
Yeah.
germane. The second you germane would be my word for this. Like Jupiter's gonna like really hone in on like what it actually does know. Gemini's gonna try and scatter
Why
and
don't you read a book with the poisonous ink? Take one for the team and shut up. That's what everyone needs. Like, yeah, just read.
yeah, and just like
But
focus.
various perspectives. Don't quit, quit. Just if you're only a Fox Newser, which you definitely ain't listening to this podcast if you are, but then, go on the demon channel of CNN and see what's going on there. See what is actually being reported on both sides. And there you probably have some commonality.
Yeah. I think yes, 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 yes. And you'll probably realize like you have an ability to connect more with other people and talk about all sorts of things and you get more interested in all sorts of things. But I think the key, Gemini, it soars when it has the sticky power, when it chooses to not scatter and it chooses to focus itself in a direction. It can multitask and do it well, but like stay like I don't know, Jermaine just feels like the important thing. Stay on topic. Stay on topic. Don't get too distracted. Like
Yeah.
you'll have plenty of topics that interest you way more than usual, but like one at a time as
Show
best as
me
you
the
can, I
Carfax.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think travel as well. Gemini, Sagittarius are the travel things. Jupiter's a traveling planet, like it's the explorer. So travel as a teacher, I have like as a theme that I think is going to be big.
So come on down to my retreats, guys. I've got
Yeah.
Next one
Hit
is
up
in
Megan.
August.
Go to her
Yeah.
retreats. Yes, no,
Yeah.
really. Yeah. Things like that. But even just like if you can't travel, it's
Uh-huh.
about literally just inserting yourself into spaces, even in your own community that you normally don't go to, you know?
Then go to a bookstore and get a book. People need to read more. Get yourself
Yeah.
a library card, free. Check it out.
Or like I remember like it had nothing to do with this, but like I during the pandemic when the grocery stores had the crazy long lines and it was just like there's so many people in a big store or whatever. I was going to the Ethiopian grocery store. Nobody was there. It was my way to support a local
Oh,
family
cool.
here and went to
Yeah.
Little Ethiopia. It's like I never shopped there, but I then started repeatedly going there, found so many cool new little products, you know, like
Yeah.
loved them. And it was just like a great space,
That's
the best
cool. We
incense
got
I've ever
none
had
of
in my
that
life.
here. We got
Yeah,
none of that.
Jupiter's culture, culture shock. Gemini's the curiosity to immerse yourself then in that. And be respectful about it, damn it.
Hmm.
Um, the final thing I'll say is finding faith in our interconnectedness. Like somehow, some fucking way, people are gonna realize how the same we are and how we're all in it together. We
Yes.
really, really are. It's the dot connector, Gemini. Jupiter's going to really put a magnifying glass on that. Like, real, even in funny synchronistic ways, where signs from the universe, where you're like, oh my God, I remember like struggling with making this choice that was seemingly insignificant, but because I made that choice and I sat with it for a minute and I intentionally chose it, it led to this, that led to this, that led to this, and all these people are in my life now because of this, like,
Yes.
ricochet event. Like, it's just crazy how I think people are going to see that, like, what it's not the kind of butterfly effect.
Mel Robbins says she was like, I mean, it's easy to look back at your life and see like how every dot connects. But so that's why you have to have the faith in your current moment that you are creating a dot. And by taking that chance, no matter how insignificant or significant it seems, you could very well be changing the course of your life in the best way possible.
I love, I love, I love, I love. I'm seeing so much Mel Robbins these days too.
She's the
It's
jam, dude.
crazy. Yeah.
I love that she's filled with anxiety. You
She,
know?
yeah, yeah, she gets very overwhelmed for sure.
Yeah, it's like,
It's
what's
funny.
up, queen?
Yeah. Um, I was going to talk about a couple people that had Jupiter and Gemini, but I feel like there's not really this huge need to do that. I won't get into that. Instead, what I do want to list out though are a couple historical things of like when Jupiter has been in Gemini in the past.
Hmm.
What's happened, just not that we can expect the exact same thing, but these themes, these archetypes, whatever. And actually, one of them is really freaking funny, and I'll get to
Hmm.
that. Okay, the first one is the first color television was demonstrated.
1929.
Dude, right? Star
Crazy.
Trek, themes of exploration, Jupiter, discovery, and communication across the
What
cosmos.
up, William Shatner, who is still alive and kicking and hosting random shows? I mean, he is is still going.
That's and like I mean, in that sense, it's like okay, well, space travel, that theme
Hmm.
in general could become big. Actually, I totally think that is the case, but also Star Trek. Maybe there's some weird reemergence of Star Trek that's going to happen over the next year. I don't know.
People love that. They love Star Trek. You know, like the people who are for Star Trek.
I know. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Did
Maybe
ditto.
it's the year though. Maybe it's the year. Okay, then this one honestly, so crazy.
Hmm.
Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, I almost didn't write this down. Okay. And if
Hmm.
for anybody who doesn't know, I also do monthly astrology on Michaela McLean's podcast, Beauty by Design. She does like a
Amazing.
human design component to every month's transits. And so I bring
Hmm.
in the astrology perspective. So I brought this up, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 there, and I was like, well, this is an interesting one because they were the first like big satellites that we sent out like way outside of, our earthly atmosphere here. And they have
Hmm.
gone the farthest of anything that we've ever sent out. And so they're called Voyager. That is so Jupiter in general, right there, right?
Yeah.
And their purpose is to voyage into
They're still
the
ticking.
deep stretches of the solar system. Get this shit, dude, is to go out into the solar system, right? And then they send back information. They communicate with NASA and they gather
Yeah.
info about the solar system. They're like researching our galaxy here. So cool. So I bring this up, and that's it. That's basically all I said about it. But literally like not even 1 hour later, after we get done recording that podcast, I have to tell everybody this now. This is like so cool. Voyager 1
Hmm.
apparently stopped working last year.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, it's dead. It stopped talking." Right? They thought it was broken. It's like 50 years old, like makes sense, but it's outside the solar system now. It's like the only thing that's outside the solar system.
Whoa!
It's beelining, it's literally beelining for, I mean, it's just in an interstellar space now, but it's also got chips on it like that, or information, golden records that if an alien ever discovers Voyager 1, like it will tell them about Earth, basically. They will have some way of like being able to understand where this came from and who we were. So communication and like cross-cultural boundaries there,
Yes.
right? Literally.
Get your
And
PR ready,
yeah,
baby. You're
so
gonna
interesting.
be you're
Yeah.
gonna be their PR spokespersons.
Dude, I wish.
Spokesman.
Wouldn't that be so? I wish. Okay, no, but get this. So I
Mhm.
just bring that up randomly on Michaela's podcast, and I almost
Uh-huh.
didn't even say anything about this because I had the Star Trek one already. 1 hour, not even after we finished recording her podcast, I open up my phone and immediately see an article that says Voyager 1 has suddenly come back online and it's talking again. I was like, Voyager 1 is out of nowhere. Like, and basically, I guess scientists ended up like hacking it somehow, but like it was very difficult for them to do. But it's back online, it's talking. I'm like,
That's
just in time for
incredible.
Jupiter and Gemini, just in time. Now Voyager 1 is ready to speak again. It's going to send us information. Like, I'm so curious to see
About what it's
if
been
Voyager
doing.
1 or Voyager 2 or any of our satellites that we've got flying around, like what data we're going to get back while Jupiter's in Gemini. Very curious about that one in particular. Just that's a big prediction I now all of a
Whoa.
sudden have. That was a sign,
Hmm.
connecting the dots. Um, there's a few different things. I'm not going to say all these. Like iTunes and iPod launched. Um, the social media boom of like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram skyrocketed. Like that was 2012 to 2013 last
Sure
time.
did.
And cultural exchange programs. I thought this was interesting. Kind of tend to become important. They like get legislation or there's like an uptick in people who study abroad or whatever.
Go,
But
please. If you have children, please expose them to the world and get them out of the podunk town that you perhaps live in. My God, please. It's the best experience anyone can ever have.
dude, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Please.
The final thing I'll say here about Jupiter and Gemini is I'm not going to read all this, like there's a lot here, but I want people to look up the multiple intelligences theory by
Uh-huh.
Howard Gardner. Often
Hmm.
you're going to find eight. There's a ninth one that's been added. Basically saying like when people think of intelligence, you think of IQ. And
Hmm.
this says there are many intelligences, right? Multiple Swiss Army knife here, Gemini
Hmm.
intelligence. It literally rules that, but multiple kinds of intelligence. And so just to tap into this is just a good practice for you to know thyself a little better
Hmm.
and hone what your strengths are because you have multiple of these. I know it. Nobody's
Yeah.
just going to be one of these. But so there's a bunch of them. There's like visual spatial, which would be like people who read and write. Those are like architects and artists and engineers. There's
Hmm.
body kinesthetic. Like Megan, you definitely have that. These are builders,
Yeah.
surgeons, sculptors, actors, but also that would be athletes too, like people who are good at
Hmm.
playing sports, right? Work on the body. You have a bodily intelligence,
Yeah.
literally, you know?
That's so
Um,
cool.
yeah, musical intelligence, which is a whole different type of like way
That's
that the
you.
brain works.
Hmm.
Like there's so many here. An interesting one that I saw, the
Interpersonal. I like
yeah, yeah. Interpersonal, intrapersonal,
that. Ooh.
naturalistic, which are the people who are like, they're only interested in like nature. Like if something doesn't tie back to the natural world somehow, they're kind of uninterested in that topic. That's an intelligence for the material earth that
Yeah.
we
I
live
think about
on. Like
my friend
that's,
Valerie, who like she's so into flowers, and it's just like the way I'm like, her greenhouse is incredible, and I'm like, oh my God, I can keep an orchid alive because it requires no water.
it's so, I have a hard time. My thumb is not that green. It's very difficult
Mm-mm.
for me. I really respect that, but I do not have the naturalistic intelligence. I don't. I like to
Neither do I.
hike, I guess, like whatever. Um, and the one that I thought was interesting was the ninth one, which was added on, which is existential intelligence. And I liked that, of course, because astrology would be like somebody who's an
Philosophers,
astrologer would
yeah,
be at this, yeah, theologians, philosophers. Those are the people.
theologians. That's fun to
Yeah,
say.
and you're like this too. You have this one too. Like you literally brought it up in our last podcast where a marker of an existentially intelligent person is someone who is interested in questions about the meaning of life and death. You had
Yeah.
a whole combo about mortality. Like I'm
Yeah.
fascinated by that shit.
I just
Like
got a tattoo, like literally on my sleeve. It's a broken pocket watch that's set to my birthday,
interesting.
3:30.
Ooh, I love that.
Yes.
That's really cool. So anyway, I just think that's cool. Like kind of read through them, understand which ones you identify with the most, and can you harness them in the year ahead? Like set that intention.
Yeah.
May 25th onward, you got a year to like honestly, I would just say like double down on those specific intelligent. Don't if you're not a naturalistically intelligent person like me, I'm not gonna try and like make myself grow plants this year. I'm not gonna try. I did it like 4 years in a row, like right before the pandemic started. Actually, I did it like for 4 years in a row, literally, and I got better and better every year. But fuck, I just it's not me. It's not for me. This is not. I'm definitely not gonna try and grow plants this year.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean here. Like literally, like get into this stuff. I have musical intelligence, but I really have like fallen off of music. And weirdly, I'd like have like such an urge to just be like playing with music stuff now. So like I'm gonna
That's a
see what I can do
manifestor
with that.
urge. You better follow it. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. So that's that. The final little thing I have here is just two very miscellaneous notes, which honestly we kind of already covered. So I'm just gonna reiterate them. Um, the I'll do the second one first, actually. Is that there's this 29th degree marker feeling. There's a lot actually this month that happens at a 29th degree. And it is very symbolic that there's so much 29-degree energy. So there is a threshold feeling. I know that we kind of talked about April being the threshold, but this would be like that, like if for any reason you're still not past the threshold, it's happening now. Like
Wrap it up, people. Let's get it
yes,
together. Yeah.
that's literally it. You kind of come to is if you've been resisting, or even if you're ready for it, but the opportunity to like jump for some reason hasn't happened, you get to this kind of breaking point. It's literally that feeling of like you put up with shit for so long or something, and you finally reach that point of like, fuck this, like I'm changing this. Like this has to change. It literally is like
Yeah.
something has to fucking change now. And you finally like muster that energy that's needed to truly like make a change in life. So that is a really big one. I would really lean into that. If you know you need to make a change of some sort, like just fucking do it.
Woo.
Um, and then the other one that I just like, I can't actually exaggerate this enough. There is so much good shit happening. May 18th through May 25th specifically. Like there's a
Mm.
huge lead up. May 23rd is just like jam packed. I literally listed out like six different things here.
I'm gonna take that day off.
Yeah, it's so good. But there's even like minor aspects. I literally listed out just positive aspects or like major aspects. There's a ton of
Yeah.
minor aspects that are also in play
Good.
at this. I mean, and I want to say this too, because we're talking general. This is mundane astrology, meaning it's general, collective astrology, whatever, what's happening. High likelihood that some people are going to enter May, get into the second week of May, and feel just like they did in April. It depends on your chart. Depends. Shit
Yes.
depends. But the wave of new energy is seriously here, May 18th onward. It really ramps up.
Onward
You
and upward.
even if you feel like you're still like depressed and life's not great, like there's something is changing and shifting. There's like no way that this is gonna escape anybody. It's just
And
completely
that's the
different
one thing
energy.
too. Ryan and I were talking like life is lifing right now and people are hurting. And so feel your emotions, reach out, don't do anything permanent or drastic, because it is so intense right now. So if you need to talk to someone, please do so. If you need help, if you need assistance, do so. Tell people what is up, tell people that you're struggling. Don't do anything permanent, meaning everything is fixable except babies and death. That's what I tell them. We can fix everything. Okay. But if you have a baby, we're going to have to deal with that. And if you die, that's permanent. So these two things, yeah, if you want to have a baby, please do. And then, but, you know, people are hurting. So also watch out. If you're not hurting, watch out for your friends. Are there signs? Check in on your people, especially the strong ones.
Good
Like
God.
my God I mean, my phone is blowing up. And if you need any help moving through anything, give me a call, get on my books, book a session with Ryan, see how this energy affects you. Let's make it happen.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Check out our socials too. I'll I'm gonna like this is such a funny one because I've been so excited about May, but we had to record it obviously in April where there's still such a density around us. So I'm not in the like mood that I really wanted to be in for this. Like honestly. So like I don't know, this was a little scattered. It was also a little like I wasn't as passionate
But
about it and I wasn't
it's
as thoughtful
Gemini.
about it as I wanted to be. So like I know I'll put out like some sort of like good like 10-minute video on
Well, and go,
TikTok.
yeah,
So go
go, I was
check
about to
that.
say, go follow him on TikTok, and also we'll be, keep entering or check out if you haven't listened to our
Yes.
anniversary episode, because right now the chances are very high that you'll win something because a lot of y'all haven't entered
Yeah, or like people have just entered like with one. Like we have you can have four entries.
and
Like
didn't
you
follow
there
us.
are
Some
four
people, I'm
different
like, you
ways.
have got to follow all of us.
Or like I think like I even think I saw somebody follow us, but like it's in the directions in the show notes of our anniversary episode. You need to let us know. Like
Yeah,
people follow me every day. Like I'm not saying that in like
yeah.
an egotistical way. I'm just saying
I'm
like
like,
I
no,
need to know that
yeah,
you specifically followed for this giveaway. Like I need to
yeah.
know that. So please email us and let us know. It's a free reading with me, a free year long. Well, one person wins each one of these things. Nobody's winning
Hmm.
all three. Uh, a year of 60-minute astrology reading with me, a year of access to Bismos, CEO, my new astrology like platform and like club and like so fun. And then also we're giving away a copy of Michelle Brock's book, Who Do You Think You Are? Check out the interviews we've done with her for more info on that because they're fucking phenomenal. It's a very past life. It's a past life book. It's such a good book.
Past life book,
Um,
real life relevance.
yeah, and books are Gemini. So literally, honestly, I actually mean it like that book because like I still think about it constantly. Like it really has
Did
some
some
really
things.
profound shit in it. It's a very, very good book, and I read a lot of shit. I'm really saying this earnestly. It's
Yeah.
a very good book. Like whoever gets that is gonna be in for a treat. Um, okay. Do you have anything else?
Nope, nope. I'm onward and upward to infinity and beyond. Let's get it going.
Please. Yep.
Hooty hoo.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
love you
All
guys.
right.
Let's make it
Yeah.
happen.
Kisses.
Bye.